wonderful Nicholas, Nicholas Sims, right?
Yes, yes.
And he is an actor, producer, writer. What else do you do, Nicholas?
I mean, if we're gonna put it all out there, I make music as well, but right now I'm just focused on acting and
Okay.
making stories.
So, for those who may not have seen you in anything or are not familiar with your work, please introduce and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am from Mobile, Alabama, and I reside in Brooklyn, New York right now. I came out here originally because I love to be on stage and on film. I've been in probably I think like 7 indie projects right now that are out on like streaming platforms.
Okay.
Um, I've been like on in a lot of plays as well. I've been doing this for like quite a while. And my introduction to like the world was like probably through like Instagram. I know a lot of people saw my monologues like going viral or whatever on people's pages, and that's how
Okay.
I kind of built repertoire. Yeah.
So, where did the love of acting begin? Everybody wants to know that.
Oh man, in the church actually, in the
Oh,
church.
okay.
My mom was a gospel singer, and she really like emphasized just like being like creative and like in church and using like God in your craft in order to like perceive a message. And I really like the concept of that at a young age. So she put me in every single play possible. I was
Okay.
yeah, I was the little disciple when I was 5 and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed. Actually, my mom did musical theater too, and I went on tour with her once, and I played a part in her plays and her productions as well. So I really fell in love with that at an early age, probably around 5 or 6. But um, my main thing was football at the time because my dad, he was a big football star, and he really emphasized just like discipline and
Okay.
playing sports and stuff like that. So
So, have you lost the love of football, or were you like on the edge of going pro, or was it just a hobby?
so yeah, nah, like honestly, I lost I will say I did lose the love for football, like not the overall love, because I do and still enjoy watching the sport, but like
Okay.
me doing it personally, I no longer saw myself doing it anymore as a profession. It wasn't making me like genuinely happy and in line with what I felt like my purpose was. And then, I was talented. You could be talented in something and still not feel right. You know what I'm saying? Not
Okay.
feel like the right thing to do. And I felt like when I was reintroduced to acting along in my college career, I felt like, okay, this is the right thing to do. Like I need to do this in order to fulfill what I need to serve.
Okay.
And
Do you remember the first thing you were in? I know you said you started in church, but as an adult, what was the first short film that you were in?
the first short film that I was in as an adult was probably this this past year actually. Like my first like professional short film.
Mm-hmm.
They flew me out and everything. I was like, oh, crazy. It was like, no, actually 2 years ago, actually, because the pandemic was crazy. But yeah, it was 2 years ago. It's called Hazard. And like I look young right now with facial hair, like I can play a little bit older. So I played like a dad, and we were going on a camping trip because not too many people of color um go to like these national parks.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I thought it'd be a cool project to do. And at the time with the whole BLM movement going on, I feel like it really resonated with a lot of people. So I felt like that was a really good first short film for me to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this film that is at the top of your list right now, which is Wet Steel Cigarettes. What
Yeah.
was you say you produced this film? Who wrote this film?
My longtime friend Percival Bernard. Yeah,
Okay, so he wrote and directed.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
And
good.
what was the I guess the idea of producing this type of film? Can you explain a little bit about what it is?
Lord. So first of all, Percival came to me, and he wanted to make a feature film at first, and I had been cemented into the game a little bit, and I kind of knew like we can't just go make a feature film. Like there's a lot of pitching that has to be involved, and then you have to like create material behind that. So he had really good ideas, and to this day he still has a trilogy in place.
Mm-hmm.
But I said we have to like create something tangible for people to see so that we can like pitch this thing in the right way. And the best thing to do is make a short film. So that's what we did. We made a short film that was very unorthodox, and I think a film that you don't see too many black people making, honestly. Um, it really hit home with a lot of people because it served on the principles of consumerism versus individualism.
Okay.
And I think like subconsciously we consume so much in society that we don't realize like we're like actually becoming like some of the things that we consume. So like the film just hit home with me. Like I was happy to produce it. I was happy to act in it. I really dug deep with this role, and I feel like it's going to be very successful in the festival circuit.
Now, would you have rather did this as a feature film because it contains so much meaning within inside of it? Do you feel shortchanged when you have to do it as a short film? Like, what is the inside feeling of this? Because I mean, I'm trying to jump into films myself, but
Yeah,
you have that. Oh, I can just see this, even if it's not like explosions or nothing. You want me
right.
to sit in attention for X amount of time. So do you feel like you shortchange yourself by creating so much content in this short film?
Honestly, no. There's some films that belong in this short
Got it. Okay.
category, and there's some films that belong in a feature category. And I felt like Wet Seal Cigarette served its purpose in the amount of time that we had it. I don't think it needed to be any longer than what it was,
Okay.
because there's some films that you're like, man, like it could have had some oomph behind it, or it could have added more to the storyline, or there was some like story left to
Mm-hmm.
be told. But in this situation, I feel like from like the top of it to the ending, it served its purpose, and it ended like the exact way it was supposed to be, and it was a true short film in that sense.
Okay. So having produced a film like this, what genre would you put yourself in of the future films that you want to do?
um yeah, I really like. I'm careful about answering that question because, like, sometimes I don't want to put in a box. But honestly,
Okay.
I really fell in love with psychological thrillers. Like, I really love them because one, it gives something for me to be challenged on, and I dig really deep within those roles. I find myself like really digging into myself sometimes and finding out something new about myself that I probably wouldn't have discovered just living my everyday life. But I really love psychological thrillers and what they represent.
Is there any at the top of your head that you can remember, or one that you're like truly a fan of?
Psychological thriller that I'm a
Yeah.
fan of. Ooh, I would say like the most recent film, and this is no disrespect to like the film, like, but I do however I fell asleep for the first half of Spencer. But I finally got a chance to like come around and rewatch it again, and I'm a really big fan of that, and like how they played that story out. Um and also there's a psychological thriller um that I think Percival wrote that hasn't been made yet, and it reminds me of Spencer a lot and what it has to bring. So I'm really a big fan of like my best friend and what he has to bring to a story that hasn't even been filmed yet. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I had to choose, I guess Spencer, the one that's been made already.
And let's discuss like your side hobbies you have here. You say you have a love for music.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
how far has that hobby gone, or is it a hobby, or is it something you're gonna pivot to later?
It's something I won't put into later. You know what I'm saying? With music, you really have to find your pocket and find your sound and take time with finding your sound.
Okay.
And right now, I think I'm getting comfortable with really finding and locking in with who I am as an artist in the music industry. So I think after I do see some some motion and some more success within like acting, I
Mhm.
think I'm going to pursue that more. I'm a person who really likes to lock in with one thing and like not so like because as artists we can't master anything because we
Right.
always are learning something new. And there's always room for improvement. But I
So you
think
will
that
be a headline in this as an artist or a writer, or what would be your pocket with music?
um I would say that my pocket is like in the class of like poetry, like a real like lyricist. Like when I look at artists that I really I like Joey Badass,
Okay.
um I like J. Cole a lot, and I like Kendrick Lamar because like their music kind of resonates with me more than any other artists, and I really like Mac Miller as well. Like that's a big influence like on
Okay.
it. But when I do start making like music, like you'll know because like it'll be at a time where I'm like just I'm winning a little bit more in like what I'm doing now, and then I'm like, all right, I can venture off into this now.
Is this a pattern you see as something lifelong that you will continue to pivot to other forms of art, or will you just stay in the film and music type of industry?
Yes, that's a good question. I think for right now, yeah, that's the pattern.
Okay.
I do want to write like published poetry as well. I'm into poetry too. But at the same time, I feel like just like any other artist, if I haven't spent enough time with it, I don't want
Mhm.
to put it out into the world just not yet, and like really spend that time with it and like understand who I am and find my identity within this particular craft.
Okay.
So that's why I've been really hesitant on like putting out because I've recorded some music, but I've been really hesitant on putting out my music right now because I might be a different artist if I put more time in into the
Okay.
craft 4 years from
Now,
now.
if you were on the outside looking in, would you still give yourself that advice of holding on to it versus putting it out? Or do you feel like that's an artist thing where we kind of hold on to different projects when it's already ready?
Yeah, actually, no, I would probably tell myself if I was outside looking, I'd be like, bro, release that. You know what I'm saying? But I think
Right.
as artists, we want to hold on to it. Like,
I
you
can
know,
tell by the way you speak of it that it's ready, but
yeah, yeah, that it is. But it's like, if I was on the outside looking, I'd be like, dude, like, release that. But me personally, I can't release it because it's like it's an artist thing. So
okay. Just
yeah,
remember that.
I will, I will, I will.
If you like, man, if I had put it out in 2022, it would have been the way for 23. So I just want you to think about that because you seem to already have it, even when it comes to maybe films you may be working on.
Yeah,
So I have to remind artists, I know you want to just say I'm perfected, but
yeah,
if you look at the list of people that you may admire, they're like, I wasn't even finished with that, and it became like the best song
yeah.
that was
No,
out. So
yeah, no. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. Oh my goodness.
so I'm charging it to you right now. so, so
Yeah,
you will say, I thought about it. Okay. So
yeah,
what can we expect from you in the upcoming year? Because we know that COVID is kind of still lingering, but it's not really. So have you been able to pivot around that and work on other things full force, or are you still kind of waiting on other projects?
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be It's gonna be a really good year.
Okay.
Like almost to the point where like when I start thinking about it, like it's some of the things that have been like in the works. I would have never imagined 2 or 3 years ago I would be in that position to do some of the things that I'm doing right now. So I'm just really like thankful, and I got nothing but like absolute like appreciation in my heart for like everything that's coming about along my path. So
Okay.
honestly, like I just approach everything with gratitude. But like it's a lot going on right now. I've been like auditioning for some really big projects, and I'm really close to like closing out some of these projects, and then also like other people, like other indie filmmakers been reaching out to me and wanting me a part of their projects, and that's how the cycle goes. That's how you get to the work, and that's how you get to the work that you want.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
So
little bit, just a
a
little.
little bit, it's a little bit, I can't get too
I
much,
get it. I
but
get
like
it.
yeah, expect to see me more on stage in the next few years, and expect to see me in some bigger projects as well.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So I really appreciate you taking this moment out, and answering these little questions for us, so we can kind of get to know you a little bit better. Where can my listeners and viewers follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Nicholas G Sims, and yeah.
Do we get to know what the G stands for?
Oh Lord, that's too many questions. I'm just
I'm just playing, just playing, just
no,
playing.
no, it's my middle name. It stands for Gerard.
Okay, I'm just being nosy.
I would say this, and this is something that I've been like kind of learning as well. Like believe in yourself and validate yourself. And what I mean by that is like don't look for outside validation to like motivate you to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody else is going to have this vision for you, or they're not going to see the vision that you see necessarily. So always like remember to like, you know what I'm saying, validate yourself and be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, because when you want something, it's not going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? So like be patient, be kind to yourself, show yourself as much love as possible, and God gonna show you the way. He gonna lay the path and the foundation out for you. So I want to leave that out there.
Well, I appreciate it again.
All good, man. This is
Thanks
nice.
for joining me today. Again, I appreciate it. And you have a good one.
You too. You too.